You may remember, earlier this season, we saw a goalkeeping howler to end all goalkeeping howlers. Well, I see that, and I raise you this one. This is next level.
Into the black hole. Sing for my soul.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sunshine on Leyth. If you're still enjoying the series, drop a like on the video. That would help out the channel tremendously. So today, it's Chelmsford City. We've only had one day off in between after the horrendous result against Blackhaven. But, they're going to happen sometimes. We're going to have these horrendous defeats is what's going to make us strong for when one day we beat them, and it'll make it feel even better. And yes, you could argue that they're living rent-free in our head a little bit at the moment, but we're going to get them, and it's going to feel freaking fantastic. Also, since it's Sunday, it's time for Regen Sunday. Slightly truncated one this week, obviously, because we did it slightly earlier or slightly late last week, which means there's less players to choose from, but I still try to pick out some good ones for you. So if you want to participate in Regen Sunday, head over to the Discord, link in the description, drop them in the Regen chat, and still doing the Regen World map. Don't worry, as much as there's not been any kind of movement on it, I am still looking at stuff and building it up. It's going to take a lot of work to do, but I'm going to make sure we get it done. First up is Sam Smith, an Englishman playing for, I think, Portsmouth, and he's 5'2". That's a very short boy. Then we've got Roger Phillips from the British Virgin Islands, 18-year-old, not bad for a striker to be honest, from the British Virgin Islands, as well as the fact that he's got no caps for them yet, which is very strange. Then Petros Konikovic, Brazilian Polish. I think we've had this name on a previous FM. I think it's programmed into the database or something like that. Then we've got Mustafa Sambu, a Gambian who is, he's just amazingly strong. He's not even that strong, but he's just a very, very good player. What a midfielder this guy is, bloody hell. Then Kan Kachun. He actually sounds like someone speaking German while sneezing. It's great. And lastly, it's Peter. Peter. Remember Alexander Peter? This is Peter. So there we go. That was Regen Sunday. Drop your regions in the chat. Looking forward to seeing what we get next week. So today, it's Chelmsford City. We need to bounce back, but also it's a very difficult game. And at the end of the day, I still think we were punching a little bit. Like, what it comes down to is, wow, Luis Morte is managing Chelmsford City. That's sick. I just feel like we had that little good run and it's pulled us nice and clear from the relegation zone, don't get me wrong, but I feel like we're kind of hitting our limits still in places, and that's fine. It's okay to be mid-table. I'm really trying to just build the squad up at the moment, look to see what works and what doesn't, and just have slightly better players probably for next season to really try and take a stab at it next year, basically. That's the plan. I don't see us getting, maybe if we went on a really good run towards the end, we could maybe sneak a playoff spot, but even so, that would be stupidly difficult. So, with Putman Kitely being suspended for the foreseeable future, shall we say, we're going to have to make some slight issues here. But Mark Jackman, who has done a phenomenal job for us this year, genuinely underrated genius, and Niall Ellis making a sort of rare appearance will come back in. Mottram's up top. Obviously, we're missing Ben Mills as well. This is not going to help us, really. To be missing Putman Kitely, to be missing both of the Bens is the real problem here. And obviously Ruben Lal as well. Now, I saw some people saying that they don't really rate Donnelly Blackburn, and I kind of agree in some respects, but what I would say is he's the second highest assister on the team. So he's doing something right, but is clearly making a few mistakes from a defensive standpoint. So the bench will be Emery Webster, Perez de Gracia, Overton, and Raphael Shea. Tay Ashby Hammond, former Fulham player, I believe, in goal for him. Oh, they're actually really good in the form standings. I thought we were doing well, but they're above us. Come on. Now, and I realise as well that, yes, perhaps we could have maybe rescued an extra point or two here or there by not being on attacking all the time, but that's the way we like to play. That's the way this tactic sort of functions, and I just like playing on attacking for once. I like just being a bit more gung-ho with it, and it means we can see a lot of goals sometimes, yes, but once we get things right, I think it will be like previous seasons, and Shepherd's have a crack at goal. Apologies. Made the league table bigger on stream the other day, and I forgot to change it back before the episode today. So Harry Shepherd is a little bit on the knackered side, so I think that Raphael Shea is probably going to have to come in at some point, maybe even at half-time if it carries on like this. We've got games in hand, remember, as well, which could get us a little bit closer to those playoffs. I think as we got the leads, we'll get better at defending them. Donnelly Blackburn's ball across, and it's cleared away, but Mottram will pick this up. It's quite far away, though. Not a lot of... Donnelly Blackburn's there. First time strike? No. Second time strike, and Ashby Hammer makes a great save, but we are playing quite well against the relatively good Chelmsford side. This is a very promising start. It doesn't feel like the Blackhaven result has affected us too badly from a morale standpoint. We need to recover. A win against Chelmsford would be the ultimate way to recover, quite frankly. That's it. Get in there, Donnelly Blackburn. Well played, son. Niall Ellis. Use it back to him. Ball across and Jackman! Oh, well played. Well, half-time, and it's 0-0. All the early running was done. Yeah, all the early sort of chances, and then nothing else really after that. Thing is, I probably wouldn't even be that disappointed. Getting a draw at home against 5th place probably isn't the worst result in the world. And it just brings us another little tiny bit closer to Darlington. Season's closing in. We'll probably end up doing another sort of live comic extravaganza towards the end, if we're still in contention for the playoffs, potentially. But we've got to try and do our best to do that. Donnelly Blackburn with the cross. And it's all the way through. Is that a penalty? Yes, it is. Who's going to take it, though? Ben Mills isn't on the pitch. Is it going to be Wynn? Is he even on the pitch? It's Williamson. Come on, Ellis. Smashes it in off the post. Whitport 1, Chelmsford City 0. Massively important goal. Would send us, I think, above Brackley Town and only 3 points off the playoffs. Now, this is how you recover from a poor result. He's very fortunate. That just dings in off the post. His 5th goal of the year. He's done okay since coming in for Millsy, to be fair to him. Only like 700 and something people in the ground today, and he must be offside, surely, no? Yes, he is. Mason Bloomfield's offside. They've had I think the first one he wasn't, though. Oh, no, he was. That was pretty damn tight, though, but yet again, indirect free kicks. Oh, great save initially from O'Reilly, though. Come on, lads. Just hang on, get a cheeky 1-0 win from a penalty. Sometimes you need a little bit of that, essentially. Perez de Gracia. Oh, that's a nice idea. Oh, it's all the way through! Mottram! Oh, what a save from Ashby Hammond. We've had the chances today. Ironically, it was the penalty that's given us the lead, but we've had some good opportunities. When they play well against us, it's because they managed to play through our press. McGregor. Oh, God, Bloomfield with the late run. Get across to him! And it's just Giovanni McGregor. Mason Bloomfield puts it in, and it's 1-0 here. They've had some chances. When teams do well against us, it's because they're able to just keep hold of the ball a little bit more in the midfield. That being said, look at the head start that our defender has on the guy, and he's still backpedaling when the ball's 5 yards behind him. Okay, that's just bad defending. That's just I would call that an individual error from the number 5 there, the blonde dude. He's still backpedaling while the ball is long gone. Oh, God. It looks like we're going to have to settle for a draw. I think we were probably good value for maybe a little bit more, but they did have some good chances in this match. They didn't have a lot of shots, but what they did have were good opportunities. Frustrating defensive error there from, I don't know, who's number 5? Jack Taylor, letting that ball go over his head. I mean, not so much letting it go over his head. That sometimes happens because they're pushing up quite high. But it's the way that he didn't then react to it quick enough and allowed Mason Bloomfield, his teammate couldn't get across, and it's 1-0. Frustrating, but it's another point towards our survival in this league and sort of maintaining a decent position, I suppose. And they're a good side. Like, they are 5th in the league after all. Right, I think we're going to do Hereford next, but we'll see, because there's some other games off camera in between. I just like playing against Hereford. I want to get a win over them. I hate them so much at the moment. Right, we're back, and we very much responded. Fantastic response after the poor result against Chelmsford. An insanely good win over Gateshead, who were around the same place in the league as us. Mottram with a lovely header for a Jackman cross, and then not that long after that, he was given a chance to grab himself a second goal. This one's slightly more fortuitous in the way that it came about. Good work from Robert Whitton out on the left-hand side. Gets a good ball into the end. In the end, it's headed at goal by Mottram. The keeper makes a great stop, but then he's able to put in the rebound for 2-0. Could have been more. Really top performance. Unfortunately, though, against Wrexham, things were not quite as good. Wrexham, obviously a very good side. They're probably comfortably the second best side in this league. Got the goal from a second phase of a free kick, or a corner rather, flicked over the goalkeeper's head. We committed 28,000 this game and only got 2 yellow cards, amazingly. They then got a penalty, which they dispatched for 2-0 just before half-time and kind of put the game a little bit beyond us, but we did still create some chances. They then grabbed a third goal. This is just a really good goal, unfortunately. We had all of our players back in good positions, but they got a really good little knockdown eventually, and a little bit of space for Bagley on the edge there, and an absolute thunderstrike. Nothing the keeper could do about that, and it was 3-0 to Wrexham. We were at least able to get one goal back late on as Mottram put a lovely little ball through in the end, which Williamson, again, was able to get on. And this is a really good finish from a tight angle from Ellis Williamson. He's doing a good job of filling in for Ben Mills, which was nice, but a 3-1 defeat. Unfortunately, off the back of that, we had I decided to try and tighten up a little bit defensively. Made a few tactical changes to see if we could just stop conceding so many goals. And unfortunately, what it's done is it just sort of killed the momentum. A 0-0 at home to Telford in a game I thought we probably should have won, but it was very, very tight. We had a chance in the last minute with Ellis Williamson. Ben Mills came off the bench. Sorry, no, he started this one. Ellis Williamson came off the bench, had a chance late on, but wasn't able to put it in. It cost us. I then tried to do some more messing around with the tactics to try and make us a little bit more defensively solid. And again, it worked. Kept a clean sheet away at Boston United, but once again, were unable to score in this one. Putman Cutley had a terrible afternoon, but Mike Mitchell was sent off for Boston for elbowing Connor Emery in the face. And I think that means he's going to get a serious ban, which is, I haven't seen that in FM for ages. But it was the Telford United game that really made me decide to just bin off this new sort of defensive approach. Because once again, we were okay at the back, but just offered nothing going forward, and they still got the win in the end, quite comfortable. So I switched back to our normal approach, and we actually went a goal down early on against bottom of the table Blyth Speetons, which wasn't great. Thankfully, Ben Mills won us a penalty and then took the penalty to give us an equaliser before half-time. You may remember, earlier this season, we saw a goalkeeping howler to end all goalkeeping howlers. Well, I see that, and I raise you this one. This is next level. So essentially, the ball has come in, the goalkeeper nearly drops it here, and then he's like, right, I've got it, lads, we're fine. Ignoring Liam Mottram standing right in front of him, he's like, I know, I'll just boot it straight at his head, straight in the back of the net, off of Liam Mottram's face, and it was 2-1 to us. the easiest goal he'll score all season, and then in the 91st minute, Donnelly Blackburn's ball in, and there was Liam Mottram again, this time from a corner, to make it 3-1 against the bottom club. Sometimes you just need those bottom club games, but we did play a lot better now that we started to just sort of open up the play a little bit more again. But yeah, I think the way with this tactic is, it's a case of either we outscore the opposition, or we just look toothless, unfortunately. We can definitely concede less goals, but we limit our attacking way too much, so we're just going to have to win 5-4. And amazingly, despite relatively poor form, we're only 1 point outside the playoffs. As you can see, Darlington have struggled like mad, Stockport have struggled like mad, Brackley are struggling, Telford are on the up a little bit right now, but it is very, very interesting. We're only a few points away from the team we play today, Hereford United, or just Hereford, in fact. So today, we are at home, at least at Hereford, as Blackhaven have got a tough one away at Chelmsford City. So we've played Hereford 3 times in this save. We've never beaten them. They're becoming like my little rival, frankly. So, unfortunately, Holmes is out for 6 weeks with a twisted ankle, I think. And Putman Kitely's kind of been on and off a little bit. Although, actually, no, I think we'll start him. He got a 4-match ban, by the way, for that red card, which was insane. He got a 2-match ban straight away and another 2 matches, I think. So, yeah, that was not great. And I think we did definitely miss him. But Ben Mills is back now. Witten is back. The only player who's played well over the last 5 games, really, is Ruben Lau. It would make things a little bit more comfortable. It's weird to be playing so poorly and yet... Well, not so poorly. I mean, we're still doing all right. But that little run of form we had where we got like 3 wins in 5 and drew a couple really has saved our season in some respects. It's kept us in touch. I think we've got a good chance. But remember, Hereford have beaten us, I think, at Castle Park before. But I just want... the fact that we're coming off that win against Blyth Speetons, I think could be huge. Remember the last time we got one of those victories? It just sent us onto a really good run. Oh, God, that's Daniel Sparks' territory, isn't it? It's come back to him as well. Great tackle. Superb piece of defending there. One of the other problems we had is that Putman Kitely was actually the guy that gave away the penalty against Blyth Speetons as well. So he's sort of been struggling a little bit at the moment. He really hasn't been able to regain a lot of... Oh, what a save from O'Reilly. He hasn't been able to regain much of his form of last season. He's just been... with suspensions and injuries and all that sort of jazz. He's just... Oh, come on. Please not again, Ben. What has happened to Ben Putman Kitely this year? He's been sent off again for a straight red card in the 11th minute of the match. That is outrageous. He's just had a real, temper tantrum of a season. It's like he's taking his frustration out on other players. I can forgive him a tiny bit for the one in the derby, sort of, because, tempers are high, but that is an unforgivably bad decision from Putman Kitely. Thorpe, and look at this, they're swarming us right now. I mean, they've started superbly while Hudson's in. We need O'Reilly to be big, and he has, in fact, been big. And another free kick, Sparks' ball in, flicked over the crossbar again. They actually play some quite nice football, unfortunately. They're actually quite capable of passing the ball around in this area of the pitch, where even though we've got to set up a lot of players, they're still able to break through. Thorpe, don't let him get the shot. Oh, Mason's in there. What a tackle on him. And maybe a breakaway. Can Mills do what he does? There we go. This is more like old school Millsy, where he gets that ball and he just runs with it. He's going to keep that in. No, he's not. Nearly. That's kind of what we saw from him last season, where he'd get that ball, spin off the defender, and just bomb him behind. But we just haven't been able to do that enough this year. Mark Jackman honestly seems like a more responsible player. And then Jackman! Oh, he's offside. Bloody hell. I thought Jackman, as I was talking about him, I thought he was about to slot us in front. If we win the ball off them in those positions, we really do have a good chance at springing on them. They've got a huge overload at the far post. Witten's done well with the first tackle, but there's a lot of space on the edge of the box now. Don't let him get the shot in. Oh, wow. Elliot Thorpe with a thunderbolt. That extra player has made a huge difference in the centre of the area there. With a 2-man screen, he probably is unlikely to get that shot off in the same way. But obviously, as we retreat towards our own goal here, there's just that little extra space. Because someone goes out to press the first man, he's got that extra space across in front of him. And it's still an excellent finish, but they can't get out fast enough, and he's a little bit unsighted, and it's 1-0 to Hereford. Yeah, we've just not had much of a chance today. We weren't playing that well before the red either, but who knows what we could have turned the game into. Thorpe again, good block. That's more like it. Merrill. Go on, win it off them. And again, normally... Oh, no, come on. Oh, dearie me. Mark Jackman has now been sent off. We've had both of our right-sided wingers sent off in the same game. I've never had that before. We're down to 9 men. Wow, what a shambles. We play aggressive, but that is really bad, even by our standards. 2 red cards. And a grumpy home performance over Hereford, which we're going to go out 2-0. 1-0 losers. And we can't complain at all. Adu's in. Good save by O'Reilly in the end. To only lose this 1-0 is very, very fortunate, frankly, given the behaviour of the right-hand sided players today. They've been wound up to no end. What I would say is the Hereford matches have become somewhat of grudge matches lately, and we've completely lost that one in the head, essentially. 75th career appearance of Ben Putman Kitely. We go down 1-0 with Mark Jackman and Putman Kitely both being sent off. One for a second yellow. Still stupid, but not as stupid as Ben Putman Kitely was. Oh my God. Well, that's happened. We're still only 2 points off the playoffs, though, because that's how this league works at the moment. We're still perfectly in with a shot, you know? Yeah, Putman Kitely's just been given a 3-match ban instantly. He might miss a lot of the rest of the season, because that's going to get extended, I think. Thank God for that Bluffs Beatons game. Okay, so next episode, obviously, we're going to start off with Kettering Town away. That's their 19th. Then we've got Gloucester away, 21st. Bit more easy games, but then Boreham Wood, 4th, 3rd, 8th. 3 insanely difficult matches in there. So I think next episode is going to be Kettering and Darlington. That way, we might be able to do a 4-match live comic extravaganza for the final episode of the season to get all of that stuff in there. And those aren't easy games either. Guiseley and Southport, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Really, it will depend on where we are after those 3 matches there. If we're still in contention there might well be a shot for us, but we've really got to sort ourselves out now. Connor Emery's going to be playing a few games, I sense. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like on the video, that'd be tremendous. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that'd be awesome as well. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Going to be doing some evening streams as well soon, so that'd be cool. Go follow there. And yeah, I'll see you guys very, very soon. As always, hold your gun, capybara. Bye-bye.